Okay, hopefully you can hear me over the fan noise. So, managed to chip away at those ridges. There you go. And everything seems to would mount nice and flush here. It actually didn't take me that long. I used my handy dandy chisel and this tiny little hammer. I originally bought this for my son, Harbor Freight Special. He always wants to be like his dad. But I found that this hammer gave me good enough control, the right amount of force, and if you slip and hit yourself, it doesn't hurt as bad. So, worked out real well. So the next step is to drill holes right along here and turn these guys upside down and mount them inside the case. Just a word of warning. This case is considered waterproof. However, once you cut a hole into something that's waterproof, it is no longer waterproof. Found that out the hard way with my solar generator. All right. So I know that once I cut a hole in this, actually I'm going to be cutting several holes in it. No longer waterproof. So anyway, yeah. So I'm going to get started on that next, and let's see how things turn out. Okay, so we have come to the point where we are going to cut the holes for these mounting brackets into this guy. I made a template, and basically the mounting brackets will go like that, and I figured out the center point, and I'll be using this guy to make the holes. Word to the wise. I've said this before, but it's worth saying again. Once you cut a hole in something that is rated as waterproof, it's no longer waterproof. So essentially, we're heading almost to the point of no return, where once I cut these holes, I have to find a way to make these brackets work. So let's get started on that. Okay, so I did it. Worked. This went really quick. Worked out very well. This template cutout, big help. Big help. Okay, so these holes that you see here, because they're not oval shaped, I have some play in it. And actually that worked out really well because I can make minor adjustments if I need to, shift things over and so on. So the plan here, get this out of the way, ignore the wiring, that will come later. All right, so I'm going to mount a piece of wood here and here, and the reason for that is having a mountable surface like a piece of plywood in both these places will allow me to really secure some components in here, and that will come into play later. But for now, yeah, so I'm going to be working on putting these flat mounting surfaces in place. All right. Okay. All right, so we're back. Got everything mounted in here, and it's sturdy. I mean, yeah. So we open this case up, and we see a whole lot of wiring, but trust me, it makes sense. I do have to clean this up later. I have all the positive going into one connector. By the way, these lever nut connectors, they're awesome. Absolutely awesome. So if you ever get a chance to get one of those, you will not be dissatisfied at all. I gotta I bought a whole bag of them right here. So anyway, just by using the levers here, I can connect and disconnect wires with ease. Anyway, so kind of wanted to explain what I'm doing here. Got everything running in parallel, all right? All positives together, all negatives together, okay? So this contraption that you see here is a step-down voltage regulator, all right? Keep in mind, the batteries from Ryobi are 18 volts, all right? They typically run, when they're full, 20.5 to 21 volts, with nominal 18 volts. Most of the stuff that will run, like your, what am I trying to say? Like your inverter and everything, will be run off of 12 volts. They do make a 24 volt and higher voltage inverters more expensive, and usually they come in 12 volt increments, 12, 24, 36, on and on. So this steps down the voltage to 12 volts. And I got this off of Amazon, and this is, I think the common application is to use this in a golf cart, in a 48 volt golf cart, to regulate voltage down to 12. But anyway, so I'm going to do a test with all the batteries to see if this thing works. All right, so here it goes. Okay, so we're back. I have all the batteries hooked up here, and let's see, yep, right there. So I'm sorry about the camera angle, but this was the best way I can do it, since I have yet to get myself a tripod for my camera. So anyway, what should happen is this test lead should stay right there. Okay, like that. And I have my voltage meter ready. So when I touch this, sorry, it slipped. So just short of 21 volts. Now, when I'm going to pause this, but when I test the voltage from the step down regulator, it should be 12 volts. So let's give that a shot. And we're back. So I have same voltage from the batteries. I'm just going to test the voltage here. Sorry. Hands in the way. My apologies. There. So it stepped it down from 20.5 volts to 12, which is what we need, because once again, the inverter I have will only work off at 12 volts. And even if I had another inverter, typically they come in 12 volt increments. So with these batteries being 18 volts, it presents a problem. Just can't run it straight like that. Consequently, I also found out that working with your typical charge controllers also come in 12 volt increments. So the charge controller I was using to test these batteries would pose a problem in the future. Now, and I'll get into that because I ordered a programmable charge controller. So when I get to that stage, I'll explain more later. So this is our initial setup here. More to come.